Here with me is Ofra Strauss, chairperson of the Strauss Group. Ms. Strauss, you're on a panel on the Israeli economy. What can you say about the economy looking forward? How are we doing here in Israel?
Well, Israel joined a long time ago the globalization, so we are part of the world. So we are actually going to talk today about the threats as the world is really shaky and you don't see any very clear future. We're going to talk about how we in the Israeli economy can really face it, and we're going to talk about our strengths, our weaknesses. So it is all about the Israeli economy.
Now, many people in Israel are very upset about the high costs of living, about the gaps between the poor and the rich. We had the tent revolution that began 2 years ago, and it's still going until today. How do you feel we can come out of such a gap?
I think the gaps in the Israeli society started many years ago, and then when you really talk about the gaps between the rich and the poor, you talk about 50% of the population that is not part of the workforce. So about the ultra-Orthodox, the Arabs, the women. So if human resources are actually the strengths of Israel, how come more than 50% is not part of the workforce in terms of infrastructure? So these are fundamental things that the government definitely has to face when we talk about the future. Access to education, access to health, access to work as a whole, as a culture. So that's actually part of what we are going to talk. Economy cannot really thrive and prosper when you have such gaps, if you have volatility, if as a whole the country feels that there is no future. So the big question is, of course, how we, the private sector, how are we part of it? And is it possible to have a very successful private sector when the economy is like that, when the Israeli society has such gaps? Cost of living is a result of something, of infrastructure, of regulation, of education, of culture. So yeah, that's going to be part of our discussion, especially facing the reality which there is less growth, internal growth, external in terms of export, which actually means that the pie which we're actually dividing, which is taxes and all those things, is shrinking or not growing at the same pace as it used to.
Now, newcomer Finance Minister Yair Lapid is leading an austerity program. Do you support this move?
Well, the big question is really if it is austerity. I think we have a new government, and first thing that they actually did with the budget, which budget is actually 1 year, is trying to fix. And the big question is whether this budget is about fix, and are they going at the same time start to talk about building the economy and coming back to growth. As a whole, I really believe that any management of any organization, especially a country, cannot be judged on 1 year. We have new government, which was just elected, with really this prospect of change and fixing some of the things that are wrong in the Israeli society. But at the same time, I really believe that we have to give the new government a chance to really fix and build. And I at least trust them.
Ofra Strauss, thank you very much.